Hello people of YouTube, I'm John, and today we have a model from Atlas that we're going to take a look at. So let's go over to the workbench. Alright, so here's what we're looking at today. This is a 53-foot 6-inch Wood Express Reefer in O scale. This comes from Atlas. It's in their master line. And this is the 2-rail version. If you look on Atlas's website, you'll find that they have this in 3-rail and 2-rail, both. The 3-rail versions go for $84.95, and the 2-rail versions go for $90.95. Also, according to the site, the minimum diameter curve for the 3-rail version is 0.36, and the minimum radius curve for the 2-rail version is 36 inches. I found 6 different road names, including an undecorated one. Your best bet would be to go to Atlas's website and find out if they have the one you're looking for. Taking a look at the side of this car reveals some really good wood siding. That looks great. These are separately applied metal grabs. This is a separately applied stirrup unit. Also here, there's some great detail in the latch and hinges on the doors, and that's because they open, which I'll show you in just a second. And then on the right side there, you have the ladder detail, which is a separately applied part as well. And of course, looking carefully at the paint, I noticed that there are no gaps in the logo. Some of this other printing looks like it has some gapping where the wood slat detail is. It looks really good. And then of course up here where it's flat along the top where it says Northern Refrigerator Car Company, that has no gaps. So the gapping in the wood slat area comes because there are gaps in the simulated wood. In any case, it looks really good. And then to open the doors, you just unlatch it here and then carefully open them. And they're openable on both sides. It's a great feature to have, especially if you want to add some load detail inside. All right, looking at the brake end, you can see that there are separately applied details, including the brake wheel and all the associated brake detail that goes down toward the bottom. The ladder, of course. There's an uncoupling lever. There's some what looks to be steam line detail here, as well as an air hose on the other side. And then all of these grabs along the sides here are separately applied pieces. Something else you can see from this angle is all the detail in the hatches, and we'll look at that in a minute because those hatches also open. When we look at the top of the car, I'll show you that. And I wanted to share this angle of the brake end. Then you can see the hose detail right here. And then these separately applied parts. This is really nicely detailed. And I thought I'd show you the other side of the car as well, just to demonstrate that the doors open on this side as well. Again, it's a really cool feature to have because there's nothing quite like a loaded car where you can see into the car. And a lot of these O-scale models present that opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity to do some super detailing. And we'll have a quick look at the A end, which also has the uncoupling lever, steam line detail, and brake line detail as well. So aside from the fact that the hatches open, the roof detail is actually kind of boring. It's just a smooth roof with a 3-slat roof walk, and it may be hard to tell. It's always a challenge to bring out and show the detail on a black model like this when you have black detail on a black background. But the hatches have wood grain detail simulated, as well as the roof walk also has wood grain detail simulated. And probably the best way to pick that detail out when you go to weather a car like this is to use a dry brush technique, or I like to use colored pencils because you can run a colored pencil on the top here very lightly, and just the ridges of that wood grain will pick up the color from the pencil. It's really a cool thing to do and watch it happen as you do it. Let's take a closer look at those hatches real quick. So the hatches are kind of tricky in that you have to be really careful when you go to operate them. this piece holds it down, and then once you lift that, these are really working hinges, and it'll raise up from there. And this is also another one of those details. All 4 hatches open. I'm just showing you this one because it's convenient with the camera. But I think that's a cool touch because it's something else where, you know, you could have this car at an icing dock and have the hatches open, and you could have the doors open and have guys loading stuff into it. I think that's pretty cool. So again, it's kind of hard to show black on black detail like this, but you'll notice it has a lot of detail that you don't normally get on regular box cars, because regular box cars would have no reason to have a steam line. But a car like this would be put into a passenger train. And if it happened to be placed between where the steam's generated and the rest of the passenger train, you need the steam line to conduct the steam back to the passenger cars. While we're looking at it this way, you can see that these are metal wheels, and these are body-mounted knuckle couplers. This is a really cool model. Like the other O-scale offerings that we've been looking at recently, I love the fact that you can open the doors, because then you could add loads and put some interesting stuff in there. And something else that I really like about the hatches and the doors and all that stuff working is that it creates a very detailed look, because the latches on the hatches actually work. That's how they open. And if it weren't like that, it would just probably be some molded thing that didn't look as good. So great job, Atlas. I'll see you all next time.